Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How have you been?
I've been doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And how about you, ma'am?
Everything is going great here as well. So, Mahima, it's been about 1 week or two since we last met, right? Almost 2 weeks, I suppose.
I guess 1 week,
1 week? Okay.
most of it ago.
Yes. Okay. Anything interesting that happened over the last week?
Nothing, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Oh,
as usual.
oh.
And what about, ma'am? In like, how's the weather in your place?
I'd say it's quite breezy here, although sunny at times. But yeah, I mean, the weather keeps on changing. So if it was pouring yesterday, it's sunny today, but at the same time, it's windy as well. So I'd not say it's something that's unbearable. It's okay, manageable. Yeah,
Oh,
especially I spend most of my time indoors, especially in the day hours. So that's why weather is not that much of an issue as of now. What about you? What's the weather condition there like?
it's been raining since morning. Even yesterday
Ah,
also was drizzling. So that is pleasant here.
okay, that's good to know, Mahima. And in today's session, what do you wish to do? Do you have anything that you want to discuss, or do you want to go ahead with session notes, which is again quite interesting? It talks about notifications. All right. So, do you have anything, any questions that you want to clarify for your audience? Anything that you want to discuss in particular?
There's a one question which not for my audience. Like I want to clarify because of I have a doubt a little bit. When like as when people start their journey to learn this language, often people get confused whether they should start with the grammar or directly they start watching a video. So what would you suggest for them? Like some are a beginner, like of course for them to having a basic knowledge about tenses is of course important, but if someone's in a intermediate and the below intermediate, so what would you suggest for them, ma'am?
Right. So when we look at the skills to learn any language, we have listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These are the four major skills that are applicable for any language that you're learning, right? So if you ask me that I want to learn how to speak in English and I focus only on the listening aspect, then that won't do. All of these are interlinked, right? So listening, of course, helps because that's how you're learning vocabulary words as well, right? And how does a kid who is just 1 or 2, think of a toddler who is just starting to speak in a language, right? The first 1 year of their life, they are just listening to the language, right? So listening is definitely important. But at the same time, we also have to start reproducing whatever we are listening, right? So there, grammar doesn't hold much of a significance because if you look at someone a kid who is just 1 or 2 years of age, and I don't think you would have seen the parents correcting the kids' grammatical mistakes, right?
No.
For them, the first idea or the first important thing is that the kid is able to speak and put the words and sentences together. So, how does a child do that? He or she starts with things that are relatable to them. So, things that they need, for example, water. Water is something that they need, food, toys. These are the things that they learn, the very first things that they speak of, right? Or the people who are close to them, mama, papa. These are their very first words, right? That they learn. Then they start putting them together. Pani de do, right? Right? Uh, Pani Dedi, let's suppose that's what they're saying. So the parents would not initially correct it. They would just let the child speak because the idea being the child is able to express himself. Right. So that repetition needs to come in. And gradually we correct it. That okay, now the child can speak on his own since that correction is required. And grammar is something that they are introduced to when they go to school, right? So almost when they reach up till 4 to 5 years of age, that's when grammar gradually comes into picture. But otherwise, we generally talk using basic sentences. You'd see a lot of girls using masculine language in Hindi. For example, um, मैं ये करता हूँ, or boys might say मैं ये करती हूँ, something like that. But we don't really correct that as much in the initial stage. We just let it be, right?
Right.
And gradually we correct it. So that is the exact same thing. When it comes to learning a language, I always consider it in a step by step format. First step is your fluency and confidence building. Once you're confident and you're fluent, that means you're able to speak without repetitions and without without getting stuck as much, right? So filler sounds will also come down, and words and sentences will come smoothly to you. So that's the first step objective. Then comes second step, where grammar will come. Once you can confidently speak, then we can correct on grammar, right? And grammar too, the most basic ones first. For example, tenses, we require that. He, she pronouns, that is again important, right? Subject verb agreement. And once this is done, third step comes in where vocabulary enhancement happens, right?
Right.
A lot of learners, what they do is they straight away go to vocabulary. They start mugging up a lot of synonyms and adjectives, which is not really required. You can speak English even with simple sentences,
Simple.
right? The first idea or the first thing that is required to communicate is to be able to speak well so that the other person is able to understand, even if there are grammatical mistakes, right? So this is how the step by step process works. In the third step, you can work on your vocabulary enhancement along with your pronunciations. If there are some, let's say, mother tongue influence that might come in, you can correct that as well. And along with this, your non-verbal skills is something that will go along with this. So like I said, eye contact and hand gestures, facial expressions, these are the things that will be there parallelly, that will go alongside with this. Yeah.
Right.
So I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, of course, you have answered very nicely. That's good, ma'am. But just a bit advice
Yeah,
I need. Yeah, like when someone want to learn grammar, so from where they should start, like they should like go and pick a book for that or watch a video, because grammar is something we need a help where teacher can understand, like teacher can clear our concept. Because like as I go and watch some video on a grammar, so maybe for that moment that is stick in my mind, but later if I don't practice that, vanish from my mind. So that's happened.
right. Right. That happens, right? So what is supposed to be done in case of grammar is, see, in school, all of us have learned grammar, right? But how many of us were actually able to apply that in real life, isn't it? So very few, I would say. So the thing is, in schools, the way grammar is taught is we do exercises, we do rules, then we do exercises, and that's it. There is no application part that is happening in our communication, right? So how exactly do we work on grammar? If your focus is on spoken English, then you don't have to know all the grammatical rules. If you ask me to list down all the grammatical rules that might be there, I might not be able to do that, right? Because in order to be able to speak in English fluently and correctly, you don't have to know all the grammatical rules. What you have to focus on is, like I said, first become fluent. Second, identify. Once fluency is achieved, second step where grammar comes in, you have to identify the exact areas where you're making grammatical errors. For example, you might see people who are making errors in all the sectors, right? There might be few people who might be getting everything almost right, but tenses is something that is a weak point for them, right? There might be people who might get pronouns wrong. So identifying which exact area is it that you're making mistake is important. So recording yourself or having a person who can help you understand that is crucial, because when you record yourself, it's possible that your own understanding might not be enough to help you understand whether you are able to speak grammatically accurate or not, right? Especially if you don't have that theoretical background, you might not know that you're making a mistake. So in such cases, having another person who listens to you and is able to understand your grammatical weak points is important, right? So once that happens, once the person tells you that, okay, I think you're making mistakes in tenses, subject verb agreement, and let's say prepositions. So we have identified these three major problems. There might be other errors too, but they are minor, right? Majorly, we have to work on these three initially. Now, how do we work on it? Again, you don't have to mug up all the rules. Just the basic things. For example, I see a lot of learners saying, I live on Delhi, example, right? Instead of saying, I live in Delhi. So in such cases, I help them understand, okay, on and in, how do we use it? On is not used for places. We don't say we live on some place, because on means some place,
So,
right? I am living on Sarojini Nagar market. That doesn't make sense, right? So in is what we use. Now for places we use in and we use at,
yeah,
right? In is used if we are talking about general place. I am living in India. I am living in Bangalore, right? So just imagine if you have to book an Uber and you type Bangalore, will the Uber driver be able to take you to the
no,
exact
not
location?
a
No.
specific location.
Right. So if it's not a specific location, you will use in. If it's a specific location, if you put, for example, at so and so mall, right? So then the Uber driver will be able to take you that pinpoint location. That is where we use at. So now when you understand it with the example, this is much more clearer to you, right? So I didn't tell you any rule behind it. I just told you the application part of it with the help of a context and an example. So now it becomes easy for you to understand, right? So then the next part comes where you start applying it, right? And one more thing, when you do grammar, it's important that you don't work on all of it together. Take one thing at a time. So right now we worked only on in and on or at, okay, in terms of prepositions.
Preposition.
So focus on only that aspect for a few sessions or for a few days so that you correct that aspect. Once that is done, then you go ahead with the next level, next topic that you have to work on. Okay, so that's how grammar has to be worked upon. Rules are not important. How you apply it in your daily life, that matters most.
That's meant.
Yeah. So you can look for simple explanations where to use which one, but don't go for theoretical. Um, you know, I was
Many
just watching.
people start touch from that
Yes,
language.
yes, you
That's
don't have to go deep into grammar books. Just yesterday, I was watching Three Idiots. If you remember that scene where Amir Khan is asked to explain what exactly is a machine, and he
right.
says that machine is anything that makes a human work easier. Right? That's a machine. And then the professor says, no, 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 I want a proper definition. So then he comes up with a very bookish thing about a book, I guess, but the person is not able to understand, right? So the
Right.
whole idea is everything should be simple and easy to understand. That's how grammar also has to be, learned.
Agree,
So
ma'am.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Perfectly. Thank you so much for that.
Okay. So any other doubts?
And no, ma'am. For now, that's all I wanted to ask you.
Okay. So, Mahima, before we go on further, just a quick correction in terms of pronunciation. When you asked me, I have a question. It sounded like question, question.
Okay.
Okay.
Question.
Yes, question.
Question.
Yes,
Question.
that's yes. I have a question. Qu.
Okay.
This
Question.
Q makes a sound qu. Q and U always come together. You'll notice that whenever we write Q, the next letter will always be U in English words. Okay.
Right.
That's
Yes.
how we teach small kids as well, that Q and U are best friends. They'll never part ways. But if you have Arabic words, then Q can have other letters like Qatar, QA, right?
You would.
Yes. In English words, Q is always followed by U. So because of that, Q and U make the sound question.
Question.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead with session notes then. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today's session topic is related to notifications. Okay. So Mahima, are you someone who likes to do a lot of online shopping?
Yes, ma'am. I like because online we get discounts and good offers sometimes. So of course it's good, and I
Uh-huh.
enjoy online shopping.
Okay. Any other advantages that you find when it comes to online shopping over offline shopping?
Mm.
You said
The
discounts. Uh-huh.
discounts, yeah, the good offers, and that additionals, that cashback or that card offers also apply there. The particular bank, they give like 5% discount on HDFC credit card, so which is
Right.
also we can get the benefit. Or what else we can say? The prices also compared to if we go mall, so like there's maybe if the new arrival, so there's a no discount there, but in online at least you get 10 to 15, 20 is like minimum discount in online
Right.
shop. So
Right.
that's also that benefit. Or if you don't like, then you don't have to go for return, like you can simply return and
Right.
replace, right, which is quite easy, people find. And
Yes,
which
easy
is some
return policy.
policy, yeah, written policy. Or what else we can say, ma'am? Nowadays also delivery is very fast, so we don't have to wait for a week. I guess within a some platform provide delivery within a 24 hours or the next day, so which is
Right.
also easy. Or
Mm-hmm.
mm, 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 mm. That's something
Right.
I.
Mostly, yes, you have covered most of the points. Just the first point, I think you kept on going around and around it. So the discount part, if you notice, you spoke at length about it. So that was the only thing. But you said all the points correctly. Easy returns, and you also get discounts, like you said. And third one, these days deliveries are also faster. And one more thing, you get a lot of variety of options on online platforms, right? Because when you're going for offline, the person or the salesperson might show you a few samples, right? A few of the designs that they have. But when it is online, you can put in filters according to what is it that you exactly need, right? Maybe you don't want collared kurtas; they are showing you collared kurtas, and then what exactly you need, they might not be able to get the same thing for you. But when you are seeing everything that's available on that platform, you already have an idea, and accordingly, you can check. Right. So
Right.
now, Mahima, when these notifications come, let's say your order will be delivered today, what is it that you feel? Do you have that? Do you feel indifferent, or do you feel a sense of happiness? Okay, today you're going to get that, and you expect it.
Hmm. Actually, my emotion has changed with time, because what happened when I was child, of course, and that online shopping was new for me that moment. I was excited, and all the time, whenever my parcel like would become, so I had been waiting for that. But nowadays, I can say if something is extremely good, which you have been planning for a long time to buy, so if it's something that like maybe the new mobile phone and a new laptop, a new gadget, or this is something I can say. So definitely, I feel very happy, and I wait for the parcel when it has been delivered. Or but when it's come to the like a normal thing, which I maybe order some beauty product online, some like a t-shirts and the clothes. So now that excitement is not there, like compared to previous.
Right.
That's what we are taking. It's very like normal thing now. Everyone like orders from like online, especially most of the people who go for online shopping nowadays. So there's not a such excitement now.
Right. Okay. So excitement is not there anymore, but you still look forward to having it, right? Does that happen, or is it like, I mean, you don't really care when it will arrive?
Like if it's like urgency, like is does any product is um maybe like okay, there's a maybe the product like a maybe my moisturizer is going to complete within a day and 2 days, so definitely I'm eager to wait for that, and when it
Right.
arrives and keep tracking that product. Or but if it's not urgent, then I don't care like when it's come. So it's okay.
Okay. All right. So Mahima, are you someone who uses Swiggy and Zomato? Do you use these food platforms? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So you might see that on a daily basis you get so many ads, so many notifications, right? Especially during the meal hours. And what do you do about these notifications? Are you okay with getting them, or it gets annoying after a point of time? So have you switched it off entirely, or how do you tackle that?
Sometimes when it's very hilarious, like the the notification, you didn't get the invitation in your party, now you can order from here. So I go like, sometimes it's like the message which they give, the pop-up on your screens can be very funny.
Right.
So Zomato and Swiggy notification is, I can say, it's not annoying, it's okay. Yeah,
Okay.
because sometimes you, for a moment, but at least they give you a, the smile in your face with this
Right.
pop, so it's
Uh-huh.
okay.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, take an example of mm, 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 mm. there is a maybe that your data is going to expire, your recharge is going to expire soon. This is like something annoying, or another like the telemarketing, like a salespeople who's keep messaging you on your WhatsApp or something. So yeah, that's some notification I don't like. That's annoying.
Right. So then what do you do? Do you block them or do you switch off the notification for each individual apps like those?
If it's come in a WhatsApp, then I try to first respond them. I never inquired for that, and I don't need. So if they stop from there, then okay. Otherwise, I would block them.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's something I can do. And there is another like application, like our phone, we have a 20 plus apps, right? So
Right.
up to us, like if you want that particular app notify you, then you can open the notification. Otherwise, we can close it, like turn off the notification. So this is something I do.
Oh, okay, understood. So, Mahima, you said that you tend to get a lot of notifications like these, right? I'm sure you also get a lot of spam calls, right?
Right,
So,
ma'am.
have you ever got annoyed at any person who is calling you for XYZ reasons? It could be salesperson, it could be any charity organization. So, have you ever got angry at anyone on call or annoyed? Not angry,
I
but
know it
irritated.
actually. Yeah, ma'am. Because the moment I remember, most of the time it's happened, I keep my phone on silent because of this reason only. I get in a daily basis many uh, calls, like where a person just tried to sell their services, or are you inquired for a property regarding that's a bank loan. So like in a daily basis, we get like minimum five calls from that is spam, which is. And like the moment when we are having a dinner with the family, especially when you are attending a important call, and the between, if someone is calling, so of course we feel annoyed. And that moment, like I tell them, like I never inquired, and why you are calling. They said like, no ma'am, I get your inquiry. So what is the point to do the argue with them, because they are doing
Right,
their job now ultimately.
right,
So I don't think so. We have to show our anger on them. So you can simply
okay,
block that person if that not, Otherwise, if you tell them simply, no, you don't inquire for that, they're not going to call you again. The same
okay.
person I'm talking, yeah, talking
Uh,
about that.
uh-huh, right, yes. But unfortunately, what happens is even though the same person might not call you, uh, this institution or organization might have multiple salespeople who call you, right? So you
That
might be
happens.
getting the same call from another person.
Another
Right?
person. That
So
happens.
yes, even though we put DND mode on, at times it doesn't really work that way, right? DND, do not disturb, it doesn't work on all calls. Yeah. So, Mahima, with that, we have come to the end of our class, and
Okay,
it's
ma'am. I don't even realize like the time. It's happened with the time.
right. Yes. So it's time to give you your feedback. Yeah. So, in today's session, again, your fluency was quite good. I was just focusing on that aspect. And one more thing that I've been working on with you is your eye contact, right? So, that's why I didn't really correct you on a lot of things. There were grammatical mistakes here and there once in a while. But, like I said, it's something that is down the priority list. Right now, the focus is on the other areas like eye contact. So right now, if I have to tell you your ratio, it would be somewhere 40 to 50% of the time where you are focusing on the screen. Of course, looking down has decreased a lot, but looking away from the screen is still there, right? So it should be up till 70% of the time. I'll not say that you have to stare at the person 100% of the time that you're talking. No, you can look here and there once in a while, but it should be the other way around. The more time should be focused on the person. Once in a while, you can look here and there, right? So try to maintain 70% eye contact. Okay, that's the first thing. Second one was, like I said, your fluency was quite good. You're able to elaborate on your responses. Now, in terms of corrections, a few pronunciation errors. The first one that I had told you back then, question, yes. And second one is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yes, I think when you said it, it sounded like hilarious.
Okay.
O sound, right? This is hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.